So, what if you could get the kind of weight loss effects everyone's talking about, but from a single natural drop? Well, that is the billion-dollar promise behind a new company called ORYGN. They are jumping headfirst into this massive wellness gold rush with a product they're positioning as the natural answer to big pharma. Today, we're going to go under the hood of their pitch, take it all apart, and see what's really there. Okay, let's dive in.
You have to wonder, how does a product concept travel all the way from the fjords of Norway to your social media feed, wrapped up in this super slick, high-tech sales pitch? That's what we're going to do here. We're going to deconstruct their official presentation to really understand the product, the science they're showing us, their market strategy, and of course, their pretty unique business model. Let's see what we can find. Okay, so we'll break this down into 5 key parts. First, we'll look at the ORYGN brand promise itself. Then, we're going to dig into the product, which is called triGLP, and see what it specifically claims to do. After that, we'll get into the science they're using to back it all up, take a look at the massive market opportunity they're chasing, and finally, unpack the direct selling model that powers the whole business. Every brand has a story, right? A core philosophy. So, what is ORYGN's? Well, for them, it all boils down to 3 powerful words that are meant to frame every single thing they do.
They actually bake this idea right into their name. You see, ORYGN, spelled O-R-Y-G-N, is all about the origin, the very beginning. Their whole argument is simple. The quality of the start completely dictates the quality of the finish. It's their foundational concept, and they're sticking to it. And these are their 3 main pillars. First up is purity, which they connect back to that Norwegian sourcing. Then there's potency, which they claim comes from some patented tech for better absorption under your tongue. And third, partnership. Now, this one is a really big deal. They're not some little startup working out of a garage. Nope. They've partnered with an established 9-year-old company, which gives them instant access to logistics, manufacturing, and distribution right from day one. That's a huge, huge strategic advantage.
Okay, so let's move on to the product itself and see how this all builds. It's called triGLP, and its marketing is really built around this idea of a multifaceted approach to our metabolic health. So here it is. This is the core product. The pitch is incredibly simple. 1 daily drop to help your body shed fat and restore its natural balance. You'll notice they're not just selling weight loss here. They're selling the whole idea of a complete metabolic reset. They visualize their claims through this really memorable concept of 3 pathways, 1 drop. Each of these pathways is linked to a specific hormone or peptide that has a really distinct function in the body. So let's take a look at what these 3 pillars actually are.
The first pathway is the appetite whisperer, and it targets GLP-1. Now, this is the very same hormone that's made drugs like Ozempic so famous. The idea here is that it tells your brain you're full, it slows down how quickly your stomach empties, and it just crushes those food cravings. The result they're aiming for? You just don't feel like eating as much, and the weight starts to come off. The second pathway is the core shield, and this is where they go way beyond just weight loss. The focus here is on healing your gut. They claim it can help repair the lining of your intestines, which in turn can reduce inflammation all through your body and help you absorb nutrients more effectively. It's really about building a stronger foundation from the inside out. And the third pathway is the metabolic optimizer, which is all about energy. You know that afternoon crash you can get after a big lunch? They claim their product can help prevent that by improving your body's ability to manage blood sugar. The goal is to turn your body into a more efficient fat-burning machine, giving you steady, sustained energy all day long. So those are the claims. A triple action formula for weight loss, gut health, and energy. But where does the company say this stuff actually comes from, and what kind of evidence do they present to prove that it's unique? Well, according to their materials, it all starts with salmon from Norway. They take parts of the fish that might otherwise just get discarded and use a special enzymatic process to break down the proteins into these tiny bioactive molecules. They actually call it upcycling, turning what could be waste into a premium ingredient. So how do they argue that their ingredient is so special? Okay, this is where it gets a little sciencey, but stick with me. This chart is basically a molecular fingerprint. Think of it like a scanner that reads the unique structural signature of a compound. Their claim is that their ingredient, which they call peptide, and it's that little black dot right there, has a unique structure that's totally different from over 1,300 other similar compounds. And it's that unique fingerprint, they argue, that gives it its special properties. A unique product is one thing, but timing and positioning in the market,
Well, that's everything. So let's shift gears and look at the business side of all this. And the market they are jumping into is an absolute monster. According to the figures in their own presentation, the global market for pharmaceutical GLP-1 drugs is projected to hit over $121 billion by 2034. To put that into perspective, that is more than the annual GDP of some entire countries. It is a massive wave, and ORYGN is positioning its surfboard to try and catch it. So who exactly are they targeting? Well, it's not just the 8 to 10% of people already taking the prescription GLP-1s. Their prime target, according to their pitch, is this much larger group, the 30 to 35% who are interested in the benefits but are hesitant, about the needles, the potential side effects, or the cost of those pharmaceutical options. That right there, that's their sweet spot. And this slide shows exactly how they try to capture that hesitant market. They create a simple, really powerful comparison. Injections versus their drops, a single pharmaceutical peptide versus their triple peptide formula, synthetic versus what they're calling 100% natural. This is how they frame their product as the perfect solution for that interested but hesitant person. All right, now for the final piece of this puzzle. How do they actually sell the product and build a business? Well, it's not through traditional retail. It's a direct selling model that's been, let's say, supercharged with some very modern technology. So how do people make money? The compensation plan is structured like a lot of companies in this space. You get a huge commission, 50%, on anything you sell directly to a customer. You also get bonuses for signing up new partners. But according to the plan, the real potential for the bigger earnings is in building a large team and then earning a percentage of everything they sell. It's a classic multi-level marketing structure. But here's where it gets very 21st century. A central part of their pitch to potential distributors is free access to an AI marketing tool called Closer AI. The big promise is that this tool automates a ton of the tedious social media work that's involved in finding new customers and recruits. So how do you actually build this business? They lay out this 5-step playbook. First, you make a list of prospects, and they suggest people who've done this kind of thing before. Then, you let the AI generate posts for you, while you focus on building relationships through stories and engagement. After about a month of warming people up, you present the business opportunity. And the final and most important step, teach everyone you sign up to do the exact same thing. It is a system designed to be copied over and over again. And that really brings us to the big picture here. We've seen a product making some pretty significant wellness claims, framed by scientific-looking charts and targeting a multi-billion-dollar market. And we've seen a business model that combines old-school network marketing with new-school AI automation. So when you merge these two worlds, you have to ask, is this the new blueprint for the modern side hustle? Or is it just a new spin on an old game? That's definitely something to think about.